I think a very important thing that you should really understand is that this institution, which was set up by our founder, had a vision of service. And I think that is something that has been a core value. And I think this is the main core value of this institution as a whole. We find that there are very few institutions which have continued to be able to do this. And this is something that I would say will become a future value as well. And that will retain itself through the coming 50 years. I think this has been a beginning. We are still growing. And we are growing at a phenomenal pace. It's really incredible, the growth rate that I have seen myself in the last 20 years. So this is something that we need to understand. And that service component, that service to society, service to different levels of society, at understanding what you can do at school level, at undergraduate level, at postgraduate level. I think these are the key core values which we will continue to sustain, because our initial vision has been growing from this. The Environment Institute began as a sort of accident. My boss, Patang Raoji, was planting a tree one day. And somebody there said, Dr. Bharucha is interested in environment, so why don't you ask him also to plant a tree? And I said, sir, I don't plant eucalyptus trees. And he said, why not? You environmentalists talk, but you don't do anything. So why don't you set up an institute, like you did set up an institute in Pune University on environment? And I first thought that this was just an ad hoc statement. But every few days, I got a reminder to say, when are you going to start this environmental institution? And that's how this began, from a small place of 3 people with 1 small room doing education at school level for Bharati Vidyapeeth schools, and then grew into this, well, today a very well-known institute across the country. We connect not only to industry or business houses, for which we are very often consultants and advisors, but I think what is even more important is how this university department connects to school education. We run a very large program called the NGC, which is the green sort of schooling program, which occurs through the Ministry which occurs through the Environment Ministry in Delhi. And the nodal agency of that is the Social Forestry Department, and we become the resource agency for this. Now, as the resource agency, we train teachers, we get into schools, and today our access reaches 8,000 schools across Maharashtra. So this is a huge program which we have been running for so many years, and it has been extremely successful in Maharashtra. So we have been able to bring out how environment enters the lives of a huge number of children. Well, I've been very close to this family. I have seen my boss grow from a politician at a very early age and grow into somebody who is quite phenomenal. Very few people actually know of some of the things that this person has done. And in one way, we need to understand that this stems from his early beginnings as a rural school teacher. And to have envisioned all those years ago that he would have his own university. I think that is what epitomizes this university. And it has driven many of us who have been very close to his family into doing things that go beyond what is needed from some head of an institution. And I think this is what has changed many, many people's lives. Not just the people who have been part of the institution, but who have come as students to us. And over the years, they have remembered us with very fond memories. One of the things that we have initiated in the very recent past, which I think will grow phenomenally, and which is extremely important, is that we have now in the university set up a faculty of interdisciplinary studies, which fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, I have been made the dean of this new faculty. We have envisioned this at the Environment Institute and in the Center for Healthcare Management Studies for many, many years. Today, we are going to involve the whole of Bharati Vidyapeeth in this. And I think that is where we will break out into innovative, interdisciplinary work. and research work in an interdisciplinary fields, which we couldn't have done earlier.